like,
like,
and subscribe.
subscribe.
Welcome to Saints at Manahawkin United Methodist Church. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Millie Plant, whom I dearly love, and we are glad to have her here. So thanks, Millie, for coming today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I want you to relax, okay? Millie told me that it's not her thing. That's why we're doing much later time. But just relax and smile. And so would you tell us about your childhood memories, when you were growing up?
Okay, well, I was born in North Arlington, New Jersey, on the day after the big stock market crash.
Man, 1929.
Yes, I was born on October 30th, the day after the stock market crashed.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad had just got a job driving a bus for DeCamp bus lines in Livingston. And it was a commute, between North Arlington and Livingston. So when I was about 6 months old, my parents decided that it was time to move to Livingston.
Ah.
So Mom and Dad, my older brother Albert, and my mom's parents, we all packed up and moved to Livingston. And I grew up there. I went to all the local schools. And at that time, we only went to 8th grade in Livingston.
Oh.
We didn't have a high school, so we had
Wow.
to go to West Orange, which was the next town over from us. So I graduated from West Orange High in 1947.
47.
Yeah. And I went to work at the Livingston National Bank. I was sitting in my senior year in high school. I was sitting in my history class when I had taken all the business courses.
Yes.
So my bookkeeping teacher came in, talked quickly to the teacher, and then came over to me. And he said, "Get your things together and get the next bus up to Livingston." He said, "Livingston National is looking for a trainee for bank bookkeeping."
Oh.
And he said, "I have recommended you." So
How about that? Wow.
So from that day on to the end of the school year, when I graduated, I went to school until like noontime, and then grabbed the bus and went up to Livingston to work for the bank. And then while I was working at the bank, one of the girls that I met and became friendly with, her name was Ann. One day she said to me, "I would like you to go on a double date with me and my boyfriend." And she said, "And I'd like you to meet my friend, Jim Plant."
Okay. Save that story later on. I'd like to hear a little bit about your working in the bank. Did you like it from the very beginning, the bookkeeping
did.
and working?
I was never good with math, but it was all done by machine.
By machine,
So,
yeah, that's
I
right.
just had to punch numbers in and be very careful about transposition, because I did have a problem with transposing numbers.
That's right. Sometimes we all make mistakes.
Yeah, but it was it was a nice job. It was a fun job. They were nice people to work with.
Is that right?
And it was a wonderful first experience, because things, as I went on and worked in later jobs, things were so lax, but it was very disciplined. You had to be very careful.
That's right. The bank,
When you're playing around with other people's money, you have to be very careful.
That's right. So how long you worked in that Livingston bank?
I worked there for about 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And you moved on?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, well, by then I was married.
Oh, I see. So let's go back to the double dating thing.
Okay.
So your friend invited you to go double dating.
All right, so that was where I met Jim.
Yeah.
2 years later, the same girl, Ann, was my maid of honor when Jim and I got married.
How about that? Yeah.
And then I worked at the bank for another 2 years until I was having my first daughter,
child.
Linda.
Yeah, Linda.
Yeah.
So you in those years you all lived in Livingston.
Yes.
So Jim, what was he doing for a living at the time?
He worked for the East Orange Water Department.
Oh.
They had a water reserve property in Livingston, Milburn, and Florham Park.
Yeah.
So he was a supervisor on the water
Supervisor,
department.
yeah.
They also had several houses on the property that we
Oh,
were able to rent one of the houses.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we lived the whole time until I came here. We lived in the same house.
That's right. So Jim worked for the water company for so many years.
48 years he was there.
48 years. I mean, didn't you get tired of living in one house for 48 years?
No, because we were there maybe 10 years or so when we bought the house down here.
Oh, okay.
So we would be down here summers and weekends.
That's right, and
and
go
up
back
there for school time.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So how many children you had altogether?
I had three.
Three.
Linda was the first, and
that's
Diane
right.
was the second.
Mm-hmm.
And my son Jim,
yeah.
who was better known as Bud, he was the third.
That's right, whom I met. My next question is, I'm sure you've been a Christian all these years. Tell us about your church background and your faith.
Well, from the time I could remember, we always went to St. Peter's Episcopal Church in Livingston.
Livingston, yeah.
And I just always knew that God was there and
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was there and taking care of us all.
You went through the confirmation class as
Yes.
well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was baptized in the church in North Arlington.
Oh, as a baby.
As a baby.
That's right.
And then I was confirmed in Livingston at St. Peter's.
When you were, the time when you were confirmed, were there peers, like friends, a lot of peers, or?
It was, well, Livingston itself was very small. I think the pre-war population was under 5,000.
Oh, I see.
We were a small farming community. But,
Was it? Oh.
Yeah. I had many close friends that, the kids that I went to Sunday school with.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's good. So as you, just grew into adulthood and got married and having children and working, can you share with us a couple of times, if you will, that you felt God is with you and God helped me and see me through those moments?
Well, the latest one was a year ago.
A year ago.
July 28th.
July 20th.
I was coming home from church.
Yeah.
And as I was crossing the intersection into my street, a FedEx truck coming out of my street
wow.
ran into the side of my car.
That's right.
Yeah. Crushed my car, totaled my car.
Yeah.
The windows were all broken. The glass was flying all over. So I'm sure that God was there taking care of me then.
Absolutely. God sent an angel to protect you. And the man who ran into had no idea that what he was doing either.
Apparently not. He said he stopped and looked both ways and didn't see me. But everybody seems to think he was probably looking down to see where his next delivery was and just gave it the gas and right into me.
Although, personally I experienced moments like that. I sure thought I looked at both directions, and when I turned, then someone just right behind me. I felt, where did this car come from?
Yeah.
And so forth. Yeah.
Well, certainly a FedEx truck was big enough for me to have seen, but I never saw him until he hit me.
Oh, you either, right?
Yeah, never saw him.
Gosh, but thank God that he protected you.
I know. I said that right from the minute. I said, oh, thank God, that nobody was hurt.
Yeah.
I ended up with a tiny little cut on my thumb.
Oh.
Now, that was, with all that broken glass and everything.
Oh, boy. Did the airbag blow, just pop up?
No.
No, it didn't.
No airbags.
Oh.
No, because he hit me right behind the driver's seat, right in the side of the car.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yes.
And my car was old. I only had front airbags.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Speaking of driving, I was impressed that you still like driving. And you once told me that you came from drivers, truckers, whatever. Tell us a little bit about.
Well, my dad was, he was always a bus driver.
Bus driver.
Even after he and my mom moved to Florida, he went to work as a bus driver for the city of Daytona.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. My oldest brother, Albert, was also a bus driver. And Edward was always a truck driver. He worked at Cape Canaveral when they were building the NASA station there. And
Oh, wow.
he did a lot of truck driving then.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And my dad's brother worked for public service bus lines.
So you would not have minded if the opportunity were given, you would drive a bus or truck or something like
Oh, I was always disappointed that I couldn't follow in my dad's footsteps. They didn't have lady bus drivers then.
Oh, man. Don't you fall asleep once in a while when you get tired driving? Keep driving?
No.
No, that's
No.
that's
No.
really.
No, after Jim drove, after
Yeah.
Jim died,
Yeah.
I would drive myself to Florida to spend the winter with my brother.
In 2 days, I hope.
Well, indirectly, because at that time, now my middle child, Diane, lives in South Carolina.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would drive from here to her
Oh,
house.
yeah, her house
That
and
was
stayed
a
over.
12-hour trip, but I would take my lunch with me and just stop by the roadside, stop in the roadside rest areas and
Yeah, that's right.
eat my lunch and walk around a little bit and keep going until I got to Diane's.
Do you listen to the music while you're driving? I mean,
I liked audiobooks.
oh, audio
Yeah.
book. Oh,
Yeah, I would
see.
listen to audiobooks while I was going.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what recommendation would you give to someone like me, like dozing off when we drive? And whether you listen to the music or not doesn't matter, just you get tired.
I eat.
You you eat? You munch as you drive, is that?
I always keep little snacky
Yes,
stuff,
and-
and
oh, I
then
see.
I would nibble on that as I was driving.
Oh, that helps. That helps.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then
Oh.
to stop periodically,
Periodically.
walk around a little bit.
My problem is that when I drive, I know in 30 minutes I'm gonna be home. So instead of just pull over and just take a few steps away or something, I keep driving. That's my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I think you just need to stop and take a little walk around.
That's right. That's what people do. But anyway, thanks. Yeah, thank you. Now,
If you can't say something nice to
Don't
or
say it
about
at all.
somebody, don't say anything at all.
that's right.
You just don't want to hurt anybody else's feelings or anything.
That's right.